Yo, 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 what's up? This is your boy Mike the Don once again. Today we got a special guest in the building, my homeboy Andy Camacho Jr., better known as DJ Bayamon. What's up, homie Stromy?
Ese es así, Pai. We're good, man. Good to see you, Mike. Good to be
Yeah,
on your show,
man.
bro. Thank you. Thank you for
Yeah,
inviting me.
we had planned this about a year ago. I think you had not retired yet. And now that you're retired, you could take out a couple of minutes and we could do this podcast thing for the enjoyment of our people from the heights.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, I was retired already when we discussed this. It's
Okay.
going. I'm gonna be. It's going on 2 years. January will be 2 years that I retired.
Okay. So I guess it
Yeah,
was after you retired, because
yeah.
I remember you had that party and it's all good, man. You know, I love seeing your pictures, your family. You got a beautiful family.
Thank you,
And
brother. Thank you.
what I would like to, get to know, because remember, we know each other by sight, because when I was like maybe 12, 13, 14, 15, because I moved to that little house on 171st between Audubon and St. Nicholas in
Yeah, la logia.
1977.
La
In
logia, they call it.
1977. Yeah, next
They
to La
call it.
Logia.
Oh, okay, okay. I
Yeah,
remember. Yeah, I know the house.
yeah, they had the logia, then they had this little house que le llamaban la casa embrujada, because it
That's
was
right.
two viejitos that lived there. And then there was the middle house. That's the one that I lived in for a
Oh,
couple of
okay.
years.
Yeah, I remember
And
that.
I remember you worked in the hardware store that was on the corner.
Yes, sir.
Since
Worked there
what
for
year?
18. Worked there for 18 years. I worked there from 1980 to 1998, and I got to that job because my father, when he came from Puerto Rico to New York, he was working in Brooklyn at the
Okay.
time. He was working in Brooklyn, and I'm talking about 1957 por ahí, because I was
Yeah.
born in '58. I was born in '58, so I just turned 65 in April.
Okay.
But then I don't know how this became. He got a job with this hardware company that at the time they were on St. Nicholas Avenue between 171st and 172nd, closer to
Okay.
172nd and St. Nick.
Yeah.
And he started working there, and then we were living in the Bronx at the time. We had moved to the Bronx. Let me tell you a quick little story before we
Okay.
get into my dad. Uh, we lived on 168 and Amsterdam Avenue in 1964.
Okay.
And then in 1966, my dad and my mom, I was 6 years old. My mom and dad broke up. And my mom took me and my brother to Georgia, where my grandmother was living at the time.
Okay.
But then we got back together, and my dad was living in Manhattan, in Washington Heights. So then, yeah, he was living in Manhattan, but then we moved to the Bronx. So in 1966, from 1966 to 1969, we lived in the Bronx. And then in 69, he was already working with this hardware company that I mentioned before.
Yeah.
And the hardware company bought out the building on 171st and Audubon Avenue.
Okay.
And that's where my dad, kind of started working there. And we moved back to Manhattan. And we moved into that building because the boss of the hardware store told my father, you look out for the building, you maintain the building, keep it clean, like a super, and you
Yeah.
don't pay no rent, no nothing. I'm not going to charge you no rent. You live there rent free.
That's
And
great.
my dad worked there for 34 years.
Wow.
And then I came in 1980, and I worked there from 1980 to 1998. And then
Okay,
from
so
1998,
your dad was there before I even moved to the block.
yeah, 1969 is when they bought that building.
I used to think you were the son of the owner.
Everybody thought that my dad was the owner.
Yeah,
Everybody. And I used
yeah.
to bullshit them. I used to bullshit. Yeah, my dad's the owner.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
tú sabes el fronteo.
You know how it is.
Yeah.
But no, my dad was not the owner. He was just a worker. But the owner of the store was very close with my dad. They developed a very close friendship for many, many years until my dad retired and moved back to Puerto Rico.
Okay. There was also this white guy that worked there with you. Who was that?
A white guy?
Un
Shit,
blanquito.
we had so many workers there that man, I don't know who you're referring to as far as a white guy.
Okay, so it was maybe at the farmacia, the Santa Barbara, across the street from you guys.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Yeah. So let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
How did you become DJ Bayamon?
Well, I've been into music, bro. I've been into music all my life, even as a
Okay.
little boy. As a little boy, I'm talking about 1966, 66, 67. I was like 8 or 9 years old. And when we used to go to family's house, I always used to like to sing, right?
Okay.
Yo
Yeah.
siempre cantaba. I love to sing. And
It's in that
I
Puerto
used,
Rican blood.
yeah, and so I would sing, and then my family would give me money to hear me sing.
Ah,
So that motivated me more, bro, to sing.
ah. A hustler since a little kid.
So that's so how I got into music, so to speak. I always liked music. I used to
Yeah.
listen to the Beatles, back in 60 and 66. I used to listen to the Beatles. I used to listen to WABC radio on AM radio.
AM radio.
So in 1960, I'm going to say 66 or 67, 67, I believe it was. I
Yeah.
had a little AM transistor radio.
Yeah. I remember those. You had to put them in your
Yeah,
ear.
that's how, So I had this little radio, and then when my parents used to send me to sleep,
Yeah.
I used to go with my little radio, and I would tune in. And one night, I found this station that they were transmitting live, the Club Cabo Rojeño in Manhattan.
Okay.
And Club Cabo Rojeño was a club that I believe was on 145th Street and Broadway, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, they were transmitting every Sunday live from Club Cabo Rojeño. And I'm talking about the days of the Boogaloo.
Yeah.
And I heard that music. I said, coño, man, this is nice. And bro, every Sunday I would tune in, and that's how I would go to sleep with that music. And that shit kind of was embedded in me.
Yeah.
Y de allá para acá, bro, de salsero hasta forget it, bro. But then as far as answering your question about DJing, so as I got older, I started listening to disco music, obviously, and I was hooked on it. And in 1979, I bought my first turntable.
Okay.
And then, maybe a year after that, when I could afford it, I bought my second turntable and a mixer. And then I started. So that's how the DJ thing started. And then we started doing block parties on the little park on 170 in Audubon.
In 1980.
In 1982, por ahí, we started doing little. I used to, we used to bring out the equipment and tap into the lampposts. We started doing little gigs out there, bro, and that's how that became. And then the whole disco music thing, exploded. I think it was 1979. I started working at this record shop called Stanko Disco on Chamber Street.
Downtown.
Yeah. So, bro, they used to give me big discounts. Malo que yo,
Joseaba.
The ones I used to take, on the DL,
So when you did the parties in Little Park, you was playing disco music or salsa?
We were playing both. Both. Yeah. And then
I could imagine who was there dancing.
Oh,
Jackie.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Jackie's still a dear friend of mine. The Torres sisters, they're dear friends of mine, man. Still.
Yeah. I've known them since 1980, I guess.
Well, Jackie and her sisters live right across the street from me. So my window, I was able to look into their window.
Oh shit. Don't tell me you had a telescope.
Bro, no. Check this out, bro. I used to have a pair of binoculars. Bro.
Yo, man. Those are beautiful women, bro. I remember all them three. I remember when Sylvia was kind of chubby, you know what I'm saying? But
no doubt.
Me and Jackie were close friends since 1980. Because we used to be hanging out on Little Park, and we used to have this wine that we would buy in that liquor store that was right in front of the hardware store. I forgot the name of it.
I remember that liquor store.
Yeah, we used to buy Boom apple wine.
Farm. Boone's Farm apple wine.
Yeah, apple wine. That was our favorite shit. We still mention that whenever we, because I'm glad that we made it to this social media era, because this didn't exist back in the days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no doubt.
This didn't exist back in the days. And I have hooked up with so many people from the block. And I believe that I have gotten to know you even better through here than what I did when I was out there in the streets. Because I was a knucklehead. I was in and out of jail. And I ended up in the psychiatric ward in Columbia Presbyterian for doing crazy, stuff. And when we ran into each other, we have shared a couple of, conversations, voice notes and stuff like that. So that's why I said, yo, whenever we get a chance, let's do a podcast. Let's talk about the neighborhood. Let's talk about, our lives and stuff like that. I want to ask you, how did you meet? Money is what you call your wife? Money?
Moni.
My
wife's name is Ramona.
Yeah, let's forget about that. Let's say Moni.
Yeah, because that's what she goes by on her Facebook page. She's Moni Love. Yeah.
How did you meet her?
Well, that's a long story, man. But I know my wife since I was like 8 years old.
Wow.
Yeah. Now, at the time, we were living in Brooklyn, and so my dad was like this with Moni's mother and father.
Okay.
Mona, let's call her Mona. Moni's her like a Facebook name. Her name is Mona. So Mona's father and my father were like brothers. even though
Okay.
they developed a friendship that lasted until the day that her father died.
Okay.
And her mother, you know, is still with us, and she's about to turn 100.
Wow.
She's
So
99, and
she's like
bro,
Jackie's abuela that she be posting.
she's sharp. Her mind is still sharp. Beautiful woman. I love her to death. So anyway, my dad and Mona's father and mother were like brothers and sisters.
Okay.
So I used to have like this major crush on Mona when I was 8. Now she's 4 years older than me.
Okay.
So at the time she was 12. Now you know when you're kids, a 4 year difference is like a big difference, you know?
Big. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so and she used to look at me like, well, what's this freaking kid staring at me all the
Culito
time, you know?
cagado. Y
I
sí.
used to annoy her. I used to annoy her, you know. But anyway, so long story short, when I became a teenager, when I became 15 years old, I took to the streets.
Okay.
And then all the family gatherings for me didn't exist anymore. So I didn't see Mona for over 30 years.
Wow.
And then one day we were at this club downtown by Chambers Street called Tony's,
Okay.
that then later became another name which escapes me right now. And we bumped into each other there, and we did like a double take, like, Mona, Andy, wow, it's been years, bro. So we reconnected like that. Now, at the time, she was married, and so was I. you
Okay.
know.
Yeah.
But we never lost touch after that.
Okay.
And then she divorced. Then
Okay.
she divorced, and I was still married. But then I lost my wife to cancer in 2003.
Oh, sorry to
I
hear that. I didn't
I
know that.
lost my first wife, who was Dominican. So
Okay.
both my girls, I got two girls. Both my girls are half Dominican, half Puerto Rican. So
Yeah,
I lost.
I seen pictures. You was congratulating one of them a few months back. I think on her
Yeah, in
birthday.
July. Yeah,
Yeah.
my oldest daughter turned 40, July 1st.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was married to a Dominican woman for 23 years. Lovely woman, beautiful woman. God rest her soul. Uh, Papa Dios se la llevó. She
Mm-hmm.
died of
Mm-hmm.
she died of cancer. And then 10 years later, well, what happened with Mona? So she came to the funeral and all this and that. And then, one thing led to another. We started talking and talking, and then, we became an item, and we got married 10 years after my first wife had passed away.
Wow, that was a while. So you was a
Yeah.
widow
So,
for a long
so
time.
I mean, I tell everybody that fate fate brought us together.
Yeah.
So, they say God taketh and God putteth also. So
Yeah.
God took away my beautiful first wife, but
Yeah.
He gave me another beautiful woman, bro, which I love very much, man.
Yeah, I seen you guys in the pictures, man. You guys look beautiful. You look like these couples that they use for magazine articles.
No es para tanto, bro.
No, mira, I'm telling you for real, not because we're doing this podcast, because I seen some of the pictures, and I always see, you know, the girls congratulating, showing love, like
Yeah, yeah.
Carmen, Sonia, that I got these people
So
on
Carmen.
Facebook, and tú
So
sabes que uno
Carmen.
siempre ve the love being shown between you guys, and I
Yeah,
really
no doubt.
enjoy that, to see how people, como after all this time, are still connected to each other. ¿Tú me entiendes? Because
No doubt, man.
I remember Sonia when Cano was alive.
Well, Cano was a dear friend of mine, and I'll tell you a quick little story. because I know you were involved in gangs. I've heard some of your podcasts
Yeah.
talking about gangs and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
so when we were in our teens, Gano kind of got a group of friends, and he created this little gang, of which I was part of. It was short-lived, but we used to call ourselves the Blue Demons.
Yeah, they famous. It was short-lived, but they still ring
Yeah,
bells.
yeah. And Cano was the leader. He was the president. Cano was a guy who I really admired. I really loved. He had he had he had balls this big, you
Yeah,
know. He had a lot of heart. I mean,
yeah,
he wasn't afraid to mix it with anybody, you know.
yeah,
And yeah, so we were in that little gang, but nothing really became of it. But it was just a
yeah,
clique, you know. But
yeah,
I knew Cano when he used to go out with Sonia, you know,
yeah.
and then he got into that car accident and he passed away, you know.
Yeah, I remember that, man. That was
Yeah.
something that rang bells all over the avenue.
Yeah, there was a girl. There was a girl who, I hate to. I don't like to say, like I'm not trying to pat myself on the back or anything. May God rest her soul, because she just passed away recently. But I won't mention her name, but she was in that car accident
Yeah.
where Cano died, and she became paraplegic. So
Oh,
she was confined to a wheelchair for the rest of her life until she passed away recently from that accident.
okay.
Yeah, and I remember her so well because when I was playing basketball at St. Rose, she used to be there like one of the cheerleaders, and she had like this crush on me, this major crush on me. But I
Yeah.
never. Yeah, but God rest her soul, man. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I forgot his name. I got him on Facebook too. That he was also involved in the accident, but nothing really happened to him. He used to be uptown, up there by the Uptown Crazy Crew. I knew him because he used to be. Wow, I forgot her name. La que era mujer de. And I forgot his name right now because I wasn't even thinking about it until you mentioned somebody that
Yeah,
survived that accident.
there was three guys in that. And Connor was one. Another dear friend of mine who's still dear friend of mine till today. His name's Ronnie. He had a
Okay.
he had like it was like six brothers, and he was in that car, but nothing happened to him that day, and he's still alive. You know.
Okay. The one I'm mentioning era como medio gordito, kind of ball-legged, con el pelo bueno.
Yeah, no, I
Pero
don't. I don't remember who else was in that car that day.
yeah, I remember him. Because he started going out with this lady I knew, was a friend of the family when I lived on 179 in Audubon. Because she had a daughter that was the same age as my niece, but right now I can't remember her name. ¿Tú me entiendes?
Okay.
Or him. I know I got him on Facebook, but no es tiempo de ponerse de que dig into the files.
Right, 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 right.
You know what I'm
No, I,
saying? But I
yeah.
remember, because everybody used to get their haircut in Batista with
I'm
Caonabo.
still, I'm
With
still
Caonabo.
very, and Kaunao, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
Kaunao,
Cano
Atita.
used to come. Cano used to come in the barber shop, and he would like bring out a stack and throw it on the floor.
No shit. No
Yeah,
shit.
he used to have like them little rolls with rubber bands, and he would like come in and throw it on the floor. Who's
Yeah, well,
next? I was
yeah,
a little
but
kid, but I will always remember that. Though. Tú sabes que él era como medio jabao.
yeah, no doubt,
Yeah,
no doubt. Era
yeah.
jabao
So
con los ojos claros.
yeah, and
Yeah,
and
good dude,
then
man.
his
Good
homeboy
dude.
that I remember always used to sit down later on in maybe 1980, 81. Remember that there was always like this car seat in the corner of the park where you they had like that softball field in the little park,
In the
and there
little
was like
park,
this
yeah.
car seat. Yeah, ahí se sentaba one of his right hand man que he used to make this noise with his jaw. De que,
Yeah, that Sammy.
Sammy.
Le decían penguin.
Yeah, man. Sammy. Sometimes I
He
used to
used to,
sit down there and just talk shit with homeboy.
yeah. He
Uh,
used to grind his teeth. He used to grind his
yeah,
teeth.
yeah. He had that habit.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
he was a cool dude, man.
Oh,
I
everybody
remember
loves
sometimes
Sammy, bro.
I would just go, I would sit there with them, and we would just, I mean, yo como chamaquito, I used to love hearing those stories from back in the days and stuff like that. So I will always remember him because I heard that he had passed away, and I was like, damn, I remember him.
Yeah, Sammy. Yeah.
Damn.
You remember, cause the guys that I used to hang out with back in the day. Now, I think I'm a little older than you are.
Yeah, tú me llevas 8 años.
Okay, so ya tú sabes. So I don't know if you might, but back in the day, I used to hang out with this Dominican guy. I used to hang out. It was a mix of Puerto Ricans and Dominicans,
Sí.
like some of the first Dominicans that came to
Yeah,
New
yeah.
York
The
or to
ones
the
that
Heights.
left in the 60s.
Yeah, so I used to hang out with this guy named Galo, who was a real badass Dominican. This other guy named Jimenez, you know, and Cano and Rafa and Rafa's brother Tuti. So yeah, this is going way back, man. But
Yeah,
I'll tell you a quick story. You remember the Galaxies, right?
yeah. Well, I don't remember, but I heard stories.
Okay, so back in the day, uh, we had this Puerto Rican guy, a friend of mine. His name was Soda. I mean, he's still alive. His name
Okay.
is Soda, but he was kind of. I think he was in the Latin Kings. I think. Don't quote me because I'm not 100% sure.
Okay.
But I guess they had beef with the Galaxies, and they arranged for. I'm not sure if it was Leo or Lincoln of the Galaxies. So one of them fought Soda in the little park,
Yeah.
man to man,
Yeah,
man to
yeah.
man,
Like it was back in the
like it
days.
was like it was back in the day. And
Yeah.
bro, and they had a good fight, good clean fight, good clean
Yeah.
fight. I remember like yesterday, it was a good clean fight. But Leo, if it wasn't Leo, it was Lincoln. It was either one of the two. He got a little. He got the kind of the best of Soda. So
Yeah.
I would say Leo won the fight, but it wasn't like he beat the shit out of Soda. You know, it
Yeah.
was a
Yeah.
good clean fight. It was a good clean
Yeah.
fight. And after the fight, if I remember correctly, it's almost like they shook hands and they showed respect for each other. Like, and I almost like remember Leo or Lincoln, whoever fought Soda, like saying, he showed him respect. He said, "You showed balls, bro," and and now that's the way it used to be, because
Yeah,
I got into a
you
few
don't
fights.
see things like that no more.
I got into a few fights when I in junior high school. I was fighting all the time because guys used to make fun of my name, bro, porque el nombre mío, en realidad, el nombre mío es Anastasio Camacho.
Okay.
So they used to make fun of my name, used to say pistachio and all this shit. And I used to fucking forget it. I used to get pissed off, and I got into a lot of fights because of that shit. But there was one fight in particular that I remember. It was with this white Irish kid. His name was Michael Moffat. And I don't know what happened. Michael Moffat was sitting in my chair, in class, and I said, "That's my chair." And he said, "No, like so." And I said, "You need to get up off my chair." Well, long story short, he didn't get up, so I attacked him. We started fucking fighting, and we had a big brawl. I mean, we were on the floor. We were scrapping. Forget it, bro. And after that, we became friends. We became close. We became good friends. You know.
You know that's how it was back in the day. Some of your best friends were people that you had fight with.
Yeah. So it's crazy, man.
What
But
school?
yeah, man.
What school you went to?
I went to PS 115,
Okay.
and then I went to 52,
Okay.
and then from 52, I was hoping I didn't go to the Dubs because I didn't want to go to the Dubs. I wanted to
Yeah.
go to the new school at the time, which was Kennedy. And I went
Uptown.
and I went to Kennedy, bro.
Yeah. Actually, I think the people that went to junior high school 52 ended up in Kennedy by default.
Some of them, most of them, but I know quite a few that went to the Dubs also.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
so you know.
I remember because I was a knucklehead and I was thrown out of junior high school 143 in the 8th grade.
Okay.
And they put me in this special program called ACE or PACE or something like that started in Stick, and then they
Oh, I
had
remember Stick.
a chapter of that thing on 207 in Sherman Avenue up there somewhere. And
Okay.
that's where I used to go to school. And from there, they threw me out and they put me in this program called Daytop Village, which was on 83rd between Amsterdam and Columbus Avenue. After, I did that program, I wanted to go back to regular school. And I
Was
went
that
to the Board of Education down by 14th Street somewhere downtown. I forgot where it was. And I was there with my moms, and they told me what high school you want to go to. You got the chance right now to choose the best high school in the city, and we'll put you in there so you could get a better education and you could leave the gangs and the activity that got you in so much trouble.
and you chose the Dubs?
I chose the Dubs, man.
How did I know?
I chose the Dubs. I was up there just playing hooky with Jackie, Mary, my girl Deanie.
I remember Deanie. I remember Deanie.
Yeah. That was my sweetheart from
That was your girlfriend. Deanie was your girlfriend,
yeah,
no?
man, yeah, for
Dude,
years.
that's when I remember you. Now, like I said before, when we were typing, messaging each other.
Yeah,
Like you and I, we never really hung out, but I
yeah,
knew of you, and somehow you knew me. And when we used to see each other, it was like, "Yeah, what's up?" And it's because you knew a lot of my friends.
yeah.
We
'Cause
had
I
mutual, we
used to
had
hang
mutual
out
friends.
before I started going out with Deanie. I went out for a couple of months with Lourdes.
Which Lourdes?
Lourdes from 170. Gonzalez,
Junito's sister? Junito's sister?
Junito's sister.
So you know Junito and Edwin?
Of course I do.
Wow.
And Vivian.
Wow. Vivian is still a dear friend. They're still dear friends of mine. Vivian is still
Yeah,
a friend of
yeah.
mine, man.
I before
Wow. You went out with Lourdes? Look at that shit.
yeah, man. She was
Wow.
old. She was older than me. I
Yeah,
think she
yeah.
was going to Bronx Community College at the time, and
Okay, yeah.
I was riding I had my blue Fuji bike, my 12-speed Fuji bike that I got. Somehow I got, and she was walking down 174 and Audubon, and tú sabes que uno privaba en que uno estaba bueno y vaina. And I was like, I was
Yo no
rapping
sé
to her
yo
from
no
my
sé de
bike.
eso, bro. Yo no sé de eso.
Yo, and believe it or not, she kind of dug me. And you know that I got my nickname, Mike the Dome. I still use it decades later because of Lourdes and Junito's mother.
Yeah, Martha.
Look,
Martha.
look at that.
Martha.
Yeah, Lourdes told me one day, I'm going to introduce you to my mother, but don't tell her you're Dominican.
Okay. Wow.
Don't tell her you're Dominican because she hates Dominican. You know
Yeah.
what I did?
What?
I went to Goldie's and I bought me a sweatshirt, and I put on the sweatshirt
A
Mike,
Puerto the dome?
Mike, and in the back the dome, and that's how.
Good for you, man. Good for you.
Yeah, I went in there, and that's how I introduced myself. But we didn't stay for too long because I was much younger. I lied to her because she was
Yeah.
19. She was
Okay.
19 at the time, and I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
But I was,
Yeah.
I had a lot of street knowledge and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So when
Yeah.
I started rapping to her, I didn't tell her my age.
Mm-hmm.
So when she found out that I was that young, she said, "Man, I'm not no cradle snatch." So
I
then
hear
we,
you.
we we remained friends. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
good.
And then I
Yeah.
started going out with Deanie, which was a year younger than me. I was 15. Deanie was 14, and me and Deanie we were together for some years
For a
later.
long time.
Later in life, I had an apartment in Little Italy in the Bronx, and I
Mm-hmm.
was going to the pizza shop. They had
Is
good
that
pizza there.
Little Italy was like Arthur Avenue, right?
Arthur Ivory, yeah.
I
I
used to
used
live
to,
around
I
there,
used
bro.
to.
I used to live around there.
Okay. So
I
you know how that was. They had that avenue where they had those nice Italian restaurants and delicatessen and
Well,
stuff like
check
that.
this out. Check this
Yeah.
out real quick. Real quick. So I lived in the Bronx from 66 to 69.
Mm-hmm.
And it was around there. I used to live on 176 and Washington Avenue.
Okay.
Because you had Park Avenue, you had Webster, Park Avenue, Washington Avenue, Bathgate, and Third Avenue. And then further up, it became Little Italy,
Yeah.
which was Arthur Avenue, where they have a bunch of restaurants and everything.
Yeah. I think the street was Beaumont, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I don't remember for sure.
I don't remember that. I know it was Little Italy because
Yeah, but I know where it's at. I know what you're
yeah.
talking about.
So I'm going down and I'm going in the pizza shop, and they called me from a police car. They say, Mike, from a cop car. I got all scared. I turn around and it's Lourdes
Wow.
in 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 her cop uniform.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, snap.
I
I
think she
walked
was
over
an
to
auxiliary
her.
cop. I think
Yeah,
she was an
yeah. This
auxiliary
was in
cop.
1988, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
1988, like 8 years later. And I
Right.
saw her and I was like, I didn't know you was a police officer. Yeah, she was like, yeah, whatever. She
Right. Right.
introduced me to her partner, and she told her partner, this is a dear friend of mine from the neighborhood, whatever. And then I heard, I guess she was involved in something, and I think she got shot or something like that.
Lourdes?
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
I don't recall. All I know is that I think she left
Yeah,
the
she
police
did.
department
Yeah,
alone.
she did. Yeah, she did.
Okay.
And then she
And
started working in
then
the
then
hospital.
I ran into Vivian on Facebook also. So that's why I say I'm glad that we made it to this era where we could catch up with friends and stuff like that. Because I remember at the time, Vivian used to be with Woody.
Correct.
But
Correct.
we called them Victor 184.
Absolutely.
I
He's
came to know
still
about this DJ Woody Wood, whatever, on
Woody,
Facebook.
DJ Woody.
Yeah.
I'm still, bro. I'm still, bro. Like, I'm still very, very close with Woody and Vivian. Yeah.
You know that
So,
I spoke to her mother, like this, like we're saying, like we're doing right now, before she passed away. And I was telling her mother, Marta, right?
yeah.
I was telling Marta, usted sabe que a mí me dicen Mike the Don por culpa suya. And she was like, ¿por qué?
you know that they owned the candy store. Marta and her husband Alex, they bought the candy store that was right there next to the barbershop, next to Batista barbershop.
They did? Because I used to
Oh,
be
they
in
had
there in
that.
1980 playing. I remember they had this little Tarzan game that I was hooked on that. Tarzan used to be swinging from
Yeah. And me, it was this game called Galaxian, where it was like a spaceship and you shoot out the shit that's coming down and you try to evade it, not get hit. Yeah,
So
bro, I was hooked
they
on that
bought
game.
that candy store. I didn't know
They bought that candy store, and they had that candy store for quite a few years, man. Quite
Oh
a few
yeah,
years, bro. Yeah.
I remember
Marta and
because
Alex, Junito and Lourdes' father.
yeah, I remember him.
Yeah,
And
man.
I got in contact with a lot of people through Facebook from 170 because I used to be hanging out in 170 with Renzo, Ricardo,
They're still friends of
Mino,
mine.
Louis.
¿Tú te acuerdas de Mino? ¿Tú te acuerdas de
Of
Mino?
course, man. We used to hang out all the time. We used to go to
Bro,
parties all the time.
el difunto Mino, bro. He
Coño,
was
Mino era una cura, mano.
que sí que, brother. Yo, so we
Sí.
had this clique of friends. It was me, this my cousin Willie Camacho, they call him Sayo, Renzo, Ricardo, Franklin, que le decían Problema.
Sí.
And
Frank
Mino,
Gomez.
Franklin Gomez, that's right. That's right. So him and Frankie's brother, Louis, was one of my best friends.
Louis was a little older than Franklin.
They call him Needle Nose. They used to call him Needle Nose. So we always hung out and we would get, ya tú sabes, high.
Sí, en esos tiempos, eso era.
Bro,
eso era lo que había, ¿te entiendes?
Pero, bro, and then we used to go to Mino's house and nosotros no amanecíamos ahí, ya tú sabes.
Yeah, because Mino's people had a bodega in the Bronx or something like that.
Yeah. So Mino was like the glue that kept us all together.
Yeah.
So when Mino passed away, it was like everybody kind of went their separate ways. I mean, we still stay in touch. I still stay in touch with Ricardo, more so with Ricardo than with Renzo. But yeah, man, we're still good friends, man, to this day.
Renzo subscribed to the podcast channel. He's always commenting, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna be commenting on this one. And I'm trying to schedule one with Ricardo because I want to hear his story of how he became a cancer survivor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
man, we got a lot of history, you know what I'm saying? Because I used to hang out all over the place,
No doubt, man.
I used to hang out all over the place, and mostly everybody knows Mike the Don nowadays.
So pretty much after the guys that I mentioned earlier, after the Canos, the Guerros, and the Rafas and the Jimenez of the world, they became my close friends. Renzo, Ricardo, Mino, Johnny Pimentel, and bro, we used to do the house parties. Ricardo used to throw the best house parties, in his apartment. What, bro? And then I used to DJ, you know, at that time, so I got into a lot of shit. So backtracking a little bit to answer your question when you asked me how did DJ Bayamu, how did that name come about?
Yeah.
So when I started DJing, I used to go by the name DJ Andy C. C
Andy
for
what?
Camacho. Andy
Ah, for
C for
Camacho. Okay.
Camacho. Yes, I
Yeah.
used to go by DJ Andy C. And bro, I was booked. I was doing weddings. I was doing birthday parties, weddings. Bro, I was booked like almost every weekend for like the whole year. Right? Every weekend I was doing parties. So I was making good money. I was making good money with that. But then it got tiresome to me, you know? I mean, like it was almost like even though it was partying, because
Yeah.
I'm partying, I'm DJing parties and I'm having a great time, but
Yeah.
just the carrying, you know, back in the days used to carry crates of
Yeah. The milk
albums,
crates.
the milk crates and big ass speakers, and bro, so that kind of got tiresome, and I left it around 1999, 2000. I left it, and I got
Okay.
away from it, you know. And then one day, I'm at this club called Lansky's down by Rivington, all the way down Lower East Side.
Okay.
I'm at this club called Lansky's, right? And this is when I first started dating my wife Mona.
Okay.
So we go to this club and we're dancing, and all of a sudden, over the loudspeaker, I hear, I like to send a big shout out and welcome to my boy Andy Camacho, who finds himself with us here today. And I'm looking up like, what the fuck? You know?
Yeah.
That's oh shit. So when I go to the DJ's booth to see who it was that made the announcement, it was Woody.
Oh, that
It
hustling
was now
motherfucker.
I hadn't seen Woody for quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, it's been a few years have passed that I didn't see Woody.
Yeah.
And bro, he did this big announcement, and I went up to the booth and he said, "Oh my God, what, bro?" We gave each other a big fucking hug, you
Yeah.
know. And bro, and now I'm a big time salsero, and they
Yeah.
were playing salsa music and freestyle and disco. But when he played the salsa, I know way more salsa than he does, you
Yeah.
know,
Cause you.
at the
Yeah.
time, because now
Yeah.
he's been doing it for many years, so now he's learned a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But at the time, I said, "Man, this is fucking awesome, bro. I would love to do this. Yo, would you let me play here one day?" You know what he said?
What?
He said, "You want to go right now?"
Ah.
And I said, "No. Let me get my shit. Let me gather my CDs, and I'll come back in 2 weeks and we'll do it." And bro,
Okay.
and I went back with my book of CDs.
Yeah.
He let me throw down, bro. And let me tell you, people were coming up to the booth to ask me, "Yo, what's the name of that track? Yo, that track is hot, yo." And
Yeah.
even Woody said, "Yo, yo, you play some banging shit, you
Yeah.
know."
Yeah.
And bro, and that's what kind of got me back into it.
Okay.
That's what kind of got me back into it. And then another time, I go to this place. What was the name of that club? I forgot the name of the club. But anyway, who's the DJ there? Batista's son, Anthony.
Okay.
And
Batista
big
the
hug. I said,
barber. The
"Oh,
barber.
yeah, Batista's
Okay.
son." Yeah.
Okay.
And now he's younger. I'm 11 years his senior,
Okay.
right? But he was DJing in this place. I forgot the name of the place, right? So he says, "Yo, I'm gonna be opening up. I'm gonna be DJing at this, at this other place. Come on down." I said, "Bet." Bro, I go down and he's playing salsa music, and I said, "Oh shoot, damn, bro." I said, "Yo, would you let me throw down?" He said, "What? Dude, it would be an honor. It would be my honor to let you play here one time." I said, "Bet." So check this out. So I'm getting to how DJ Bayamon came about. So I play there, right? And bro, I had his crowd going nuts. They loved the salsa I was playing, right? So he had this thought in his head of creating like a DJ group. And he already had one. Now I don't know if you've heard of him. His name is DJ Broadway. Everybody knows DJ Broadway. He's been DJing for many, many years also.
Mm-hmm.
And so he had him already. He had spoken to Mike, DJ Broadway, about creating a group. So I go to the place he's playing, and he lets me throw down. And he said, "Bro, this is the guy this is the missing link." And he pitched this idea to me that he wanted to create this group of DJ, 3 guys. And that's how we became. And the name of the group was WMD, which stood for Weapons of Mambo Dance. So then I said, oh man, I'm going to come back now. So I'm going to create a name. And Bayamon came about because my family is from Bayamon, Puerto Rico.
Okay.
So I said Bayamon, and I remember this one guy because I met him and I told him that I was from Bayamon, my family's from Bayamon, and bro, he just started calling me Bayamon.
Okay.
Everywhere he saw me, yo, Bayamon. And bro, I said, you know what? I'm gonna go by DJ Bayamon.
Yeah.
And that's how DJ Bayamon that name became. And then I started DJing at different places and, doing guest appearances and stuff, and then WMD, we had this beautiful, me, Anthony, Batita's son, and DJ Broad, we had beautiful, beautiful club in the Sheraton in Brooklyn, downtown Brooklyn.
Yeah.
And bro, we had a residency there for over a year. And then Hurricane Sandy hit. And that kind of messed everything up,
Okay.
But we had a beautiful place, bro. Beautiful, beautiful little club. We had an outdoor terrace. We had live bands. It was awesome, bro. It was awesome.
I could imagine.
So that's how DJ Bayamon came about.
Are you still DJing as a hobby?
Not ever since I retired and I moved out here to Florida. I haven't really gotten any gigs. Not that I've been looking, but I still DJ. But more recreationally, more, when I want to get down or throw a mix in my house,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I'm gonna be doing a Facebook Live real soon. I'll let you know.
Yeah, let me know. Would he be sending me the links? I'll be logging in. He always notices when I do. He gives me shout outs, because I know Victor since 1977, bro.
Yeah, I know Victor for over 45 years.
Yeah.
We've been friends for that long, man. And we're still friends, man. We still
remember my first scooter. I bought it. He used to work on this motorcycle shop down by
downtown,
57th Street, somewhere down there.
Yeah. I remember that.
Yeah, I went and I bought a little Honda Lead because I didn't know how to ride big bikes. So I bought me a little scooter.
He used to ride big bike. I remember.
Yeah. Yo, Victor was always a sharp, blind. He nigga was. He was a handsome motherfucker. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I remember him. We used to go to Studio 54. Victor used to be on the dance floor because he used to talk rock.
Yeah.
He used to be good at that shit, Yeah, he was good at that shit. And I was upstate with his brother TA, and you know, I used to hang out with them, you know, back in the days when they were in Uptown Crazy Crew and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah,
Because, you
yeah,
know, we went to the same school and I lived on 180th and Audubon. So we've known and seen, you know, the 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 different stages of our life from little kids to teens to fatherhood to
yeah,
now being over 50. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And I be
yeah.
enjoying because Woody's a crazy ass nigga, man. That he be putting up some posts where you know that he be making you laugh. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he is fucking hilarious,
Yeah,
bro.
he's hilarious, man. He
I
be
mean,
making me
sometimes
laugh.
a veces se pasa un poquito with some
Sí,
of the
sí, sí, no,
jokes,
él salta con una
but he
vaina,
don't give a shit. He
sale en
don't give a shit.
cuero.
Yeah, bro. He don't.
Oye, hace
And
una
that, but
vaina que
that's
uno
what.
dice, coño, pero muchacho, el diablo.
But that's what I love about him, bro. He keeps it
Yeah,
real.
yeah,
He
yeah.
keeps it
You you
real.
you you don't get you don't get. I mean, let
You
me
know.
see. He worked there back in the 80s. And now in Facebook, I seen him. I don't know if he worked or if he had a store where they sold things for DJs and stuff like that up by
Yeah, he
Yonkers.
did. He did in Yonkers. He did.
Okay.
Yeah.
And lately what I seen is like he works for the housing department or
Yeah, he
something like
does.
that.
He does. He does. He
Okay, so
does. He
that's
works
you
for
know,
housing.
plus his DJing thing.
Right.
Sometimes
Yeah.
when he does live events, you know, he'll send the invitation. And I haven't been on for a while because I hardly use Facebook. But whenever I get on, he will always say, straight from Dominican, my homeboy Mike the Don.
Woody, you know, it's rare when I call him Woody. I call him Vic.
Yeah, I still call him Victor. It's
Yeah,
hard
I
for
don't
me to
really call, I
call
don't
him
really
Woody.
call him Woody. I don't call
Yeah.
people. A lot of people call him Woody. I call him Vic.
No,
But
I call
anyway,
him Victor 184.
yeah,
That's
and
how
I
I
mean
know
it. I
him.
call him Vic. It's
Yeah.
yo Vic. What's up? It's me, yo. But Vic, bro, Vic has got a following, bro. Bro, a lot of people know Victor, bro. A
Sí,
lot
sí.
of people through his
El,
DJing, through his DJing. He's played in many,
yeah,
many clubs, many clubs. So
yeah. I be
he's
seeing
very,
him.
very well known, in
Yeah.
the
And that's
DJ
good,
community.
man, because he's been a hustler on the legit side. If he
Yeah,
did a little something on the side, I never
yeah,
knew him for that. I always
yeah,
known him to be a working man. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So much respect to him. I'm hoping to do something like this with him one day because we got a lot of history together. You know what I'm saying? And we've
yeah.
known each other since 1977 when he was on Uptown Crazy Crew and I was down with the Savage Killers, you know, Dominican versus Puerto Rican
Yeah, yeah,
until Corrado and Benji had a fight right there in front of Junior High School 143 and Corrado won.
right. I
So I
remember you
guess
telling
Uptown
that.
Crazy Crew no ganó, so se terminó el beef. It's like that
Right.
fight you said them dudes
Yep.
had and they show
Yep.
respect. After that fight, ya no éramos enemigos más nada.
Yep. 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 So
Andy,
yeah, pero
man,
yo tengo, bro.
I wanna darte las gracias, you know, for coming on my channel. You know, this is something. Look at the name of the podcast, The Heights Podcast. And I'm
No
trying to
doubt.
do this. I hadn't been doing it because I was trying to get the channel to the limit that YouTube tells me in order to become partners with them and they could put publicity on my videos and stuff like that. I finally did that now in September after a year. So now I'm going to be doing this more often. I'm going to be talking to the people from the Heights, you know, that got history. And hopefully a lot of people will join in, become members, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button. Once I
Yep.
upload it, I'm going to send you the link so you can send it to your people and tell them to subscribe. And
No doubt, man. No
when
doubt.
I do it with you know, I'm going to get in contact with Victor and hopefully we can do something together. I didn't know that he was the one that brought you back in. That's why I asked, how did you become DJ
Yeah.
Bayamon? So it's
Yeah,
great to
man.
hear that story. It's great to hear how you and Mona met. And I see how you guys are living out there. You guys look lovely. And I would really want to appreciate you coming on the channel, giving me this time of your, or your retired life now that,
Yeah,
you're chilling down in Florida. And I really
yeah.
appreciate that, man. So, any
No,
last words you want to say before we end this here?
yeah, absolutely. Mike, thank you. Thank you for inviting me on your show, on your podcast. It was a pleasure. You know, it's funny because, like, again, even though we didn't really hang out, but we kind of know of each other,
Yeah,
and we have stories of the heights. So we have that in common.
yeah.
But that being said, thank you, bro. Thank you for inviting me on your show, man.
Thank
You
you
got a
for
good thing going, man.
Yeah, thank you for accepting my invitation. And hopefully one day we can do one together with Mona. I put both of you up on the screen and we could, we could do
I
some.
doubt it.
I
I
doubt
doubt
it,
it
right?
because yeah,
Girls don't be
she
wanting
never
to be
like
coming on no cameras.
she ain't coming on no camera, bro.
So,
Pero thank
yo,
you, Papa.
yeah,
Much
thank you.
love,
Thank
bro.
you for coming on. I would like to give a big shout out to the people that are gonna watch this podcast later on. I'm gonna upload this maybe tomorrow after I edit it. So
Maybe
you
next
never
time.
know. You
Yeah,
might be next.
one last thing. One last thing. Maybe
Go
next
ahead.
time when we do another podcast, we could talk about some of the struggles. You know, when you were in a dark place, I was in a dark place, and we found our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. You know,
Amen. Amen.
and again, I'm not a deeply religious person, but I have a
Yeah,
lot of faith in the man upstairs, man. You know,
that's it. That's all you need, man.
and I pray every day, bro. So
That's all
we
you
could talk
need.
about that.
Back, back.
All right, Papa.
One love.
Un
One
placer,
love.
bro. Abrazo fuerte. One, brother. One love.
One.
Vaya.